Hello out there, everybody who is wanting to tune in for these training vlogs. Got a lot of positive feedback from the last one. Seemed like people enjoyed this style of kind of me just going through my training with y'all. Also, I signed up for nationals, so that's pretty exciting. Gives us about 10 weeks. I think around week 5 or 6 out, we'll probably go ahead and start bringing those training logs back in that we were doing previous to Commonwealths before my knee got all bunged up. So that should be fun. It should be interesting to bring some of that stuff back in, and to be able to, do some more kind of like artsy fartsy kind of stuff, dealing with the sick edits and all that kind of stuff. But for the next couple weeks, it seems like this is a pretty good format. So let's roll with it. So starting the week off with some front squats. Now these have come up slowly. My throat tattoo is all healed up now, so I can actually front squat again, which is a blessing and a curse, I think. Front squats are definitely not my favorite, not like the best feeling thing ever, but overall I think it's a win. So yeah, I don't know, we'll take it. But yeah, just being able to front squat I think is a really good thing, and I'm pretty thankful to be able to just to do the thing. Are these okay? These controls work. This is another one of those kind of like, I don't know, rehabby kind of exercises, although these are actually really challenging. I find these super tough. So you can't really see it here, but the bar's on on a landmine over there attached to we got that Bells of Steel, one of the Hydra racks. It's pretty awesome. It's got a lot of different attachments and stuff. And as I've gone up in those and doing sets of 12, it's hard work. You'll see me just kind of like stagger along. I don't know if we really need to see this one of just my butt, but that about sums it up right there. Just dying between sets. It's a lot of work, but I kind of like them. You can see over here our nice little streaming setup. If anybody's interested, we do our streams usually every Friday. Thinking about implementing maybe a Wednesday stream to do some lifting, maybe get to streaming twice a week, but we'll kind of see how it goes. If you want us to stream twice a week, maybe just let us know in the comments down below. This was, what do we got here? I didn't film my sit-ups, I guess, hey? Close grip bench. So I actually bumped this up a little bit. This is 165. I've been doing like 160, 162 for a little while, and got a little cocky on this day. Went for the 165, and it wasn't bad. It was about a half RPE overshot, I think. Supposed to be 6 out of 9. Felt probably looks as well more like a 9.5. And yes, that is my close grip bench. One of the things I've really been getting, I think, a lot out of is just pausing everything. Even if it's like, okay, I said pausing everything and then I just touch and go that rep. But trying to get like a little bit of a pause in there, trying to make it so that literally each and every rep I do, I have this cadence where I'm kind of expecting to pause on the chest. And maybe it wasn't even that slow, but I feel like I kind of lost position. It got pretty sluggish towards the end there. Also, back on the world's worst exercise here. Most awkward thing ever. 32.5. So I think 75s here on the standing dumbbell overhead. And yeah, like you'll see, I get into this like weird position and it doesn't feel great on my back. So I'm trying to like squeeze my glutes and squeeze my quads as much as I can to try to stabilize. But I honestly feel, you can see me shaking like a leaf there. I feel like just trying to stabilize the weights is by far the hardest part of that exercise. It's annoying and kind of rough, but Wednesday's session, this is getting into Friday's session now. So these were my block pulls, 275. So got up over 600. Actually, I posted some of this on the old Instagram. But yeah, I don't know. I'm getting to the point where I feel like I can deadlift a little bit. I did some paused reps that I think will be in this week's update just yesterday. And yeah, 3x3 at 275 here. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of block pulls. They just kind of feel like nothing to me. They just don't really feel like anything. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't really feel like work. It doesn't bother my knee in the slightest. It's just kind of whatever. Dylan getting his moment to shine there. He's caked up though, I tell you. Yeah, so also had to pull back a little bit on the bench. I've been getting some like pretty deep chests, like pec soreness, just feeling like not great. So normally these are maybe not that much heavier. Actually, no, sorry, this is 177. These are usually around 187. And actually just did 5 singles at 177 on this day because I feel like I needed to kind of pull back and balance out. I'm in the last week of my sort of like skills block with all the heavy singles and stuff like that. My last week of it this week. So I kind of took this previous week a little early so I could get back to pushing a little harder in the final week. And yeah, hopefully that. Oh yeah, we were listening to some good techno on this day. Let's see if I can get the audio to come in here.
Oh, you broke? Where's this?
Anyways, that's a little treat or punishment for everybody watching, depending on how you look at it. But yeah, I mean, these went like super well, as you would imagine, with 10 kilos less than usual, just singles at a 7. And again, just like I've really been trying to adopt this kind of mentality of what do I need versus what do I want to do with training. And I feel like that's been really helpful. Again, these are usually like 142 to 145 and went with 130 on this day. Clearly didn't set the rack height beforehand. But yeah, supposed to be 4 to 9, feet up, close grip bench with the mini band. And I think I may be touch and go these. I mean, I'm just being exposed as a hypocrite left, right, and center here. Oh, I pause everything later in the video. Bro, you're touch and going those reps very clearly. So that was Friday. We've got Saturday's workout in here as well, which, holy shit, I did some squats, y'all. I did back squats for the first time in a friggin' long time. I did squats with the bar on my back. Now I'd hoped to get up to like 170 here today, but I honestly, again, what do I need versus what do I want? I've got some time. I think if I can, go up like 10% or so per week. These are 300 tempo high bar squats. So I'm trying really hard to make sure that I'm hitting good depth on these, obviously. Really trying to utilize like the full range of motion, train myself through the full range of motion, especially considering my knee and hip have been, things that are problematic in the past. So just really trying to, I guess that's as far down as the frame goes, but yeah, just really trying to make sure that I'm getting a good stimulus out of these, more so than really wanting to push the weight just yet. With this being the first time a bar's on my back, I mean, obviously I wanted to ensure that I didn't like limp out of that session. And then we went up a little bit here. So we've got 165 now. Look at this. I'm getting a little hyped up for 165 back squat. Imagine that. Haters will say he's washed up, but it ain't over until, I don't know, until I decide I don't want to compete anymore, which I'm not ready for that yet, I'm still out here. I think we're going to make a little comeback maybe. But yeah, I mean, by the second set, things feeling even a little bit better. And no discomfort in the knee, no discomfort in the hip. So, things trending really, really well. It was a little awkward with my like shoulder and wrist and elbows and stuff to get the bar back on my back. Because again, this is the first time I've done anything that wasn't, the closest thing I had was that, transformer bar from the last video, but that wasn't really much. So And then we have these just insanely terrible movements. These like partial range of motion Nordic hamstring curls. Unfortunate angle for the trap cut there, but yeah, basically I'm trying to like guide myself down as much as I can, and yeah, basically try to use as much of the range of motion as I have available without just completely cheating them. So I don't know, these are super tough, but I think I got like a set of 8 and a set of 7 on this day, and normally I get about 6 before I start cramping up like that. Yeah, you can see. I like that Dylan, when he edited these, he kept all the struggle in. And then we got these hinged golf swing rotations again. Stepped up the weight on these a couple kilos, went for like 20 overall. So yeah, I think again, these are feeling good. The first time I did them, my back was like incredibly sore for quite a while afterwards, but since then I've been able to kind of keep progressing them and not had much issue. We got here, so this is regular bench plus a mini band. So comp grip, feet down. I think I got 155 on here. Again, a little undershot, was supposed to be a triple at an 8. I really have been liking pressing against bands like a lot. It's one of those things where like, yeah, if I get a little bit of extra tenderness in the pec or something like that, pressing against bands and making it that little bit lighter at the bottom just really seems to be a step in the right direction. And what's funny is I usually press against bands for a triple about the same weight I hit feet up for a set of 6. So I just take the bands off and go for the same thing for my feet up bench here. And I guess you could make a case like, oh, this is Larson press, not feet up. But I'm not entirely convinced that they're different enough of an exercise that it like really matters. This is again unfortunate, but hey, we're filling out the 120s a little bit, you know, waking up around 118 a little more often, so that's always nice. Feels good. Finally gaining a little bit of weight. Shout outs to Bronson for being the best dog on the planet. And this was just yesterday, so these were some pause reps. This is my last warm up at 2:30. I just kind of wanted to see how it was going to go, how it was going to feel that day. And this was kind of the indicator for like, okay, do I go up from here? How much do I go up? How much can I jump? And yeah, I felt pretty damn good. So we went up to 265. Retraining the hook grip. Not really. I don't feel like I lost much, honestly, if anything at all. The hook grip still feels really good. Feels pretty solid. And yeah, I mean, going from, I was doing double pause with like barely 200 not long ago, and now I'm doing the actual full pause from the floor, getting some singles in there. Got a bunch of work in at 225 here, 3x3, I think. Yeah. So just kind of set this side angle to get an idea of my positioning off the floor, and I think I'm pretty happy with how that looks. Since I moved up to the 120s, one of the things I noticed is I am a little bit more, like, I don't know, a little more rounded in the upper back, I think, right? Like, I think I used to get a little bit more extended than that. Let me see if I can get this in the right frame. Yeah. So I used to get a little bit more extended here, I think, but now this is about as extended as I can get. And the important thing to me is just that this stays pretty well zoned in, or pretty well, like, you know, locked into that neutral or maybe even slightly extended position, because it's that gives me the, you know, tough time with lockout sometimes on pulls. So it's feeling pretty good being able to stabilize that position and you know, keep everything the way it needs to be. How are my lockouts? Am I locking out short? No, lockouts look pretty good. Yeah, I think lockouts are pretty good. I could probably straighten my knees a little more on some of these reps. I think I was getting a little rushed, getting a little hot under the collar. Just feeling myself a little bit. Feeling pretty good about doing some pulls. So what else we got here? All right, so we got these cable rotations. Looks like I did a terrible job framing these, but you get the gist of it. So again, this is just another one of those kind of moving away powerlifters don't normally move, and it feels good. So I loaded these up quite a bit yesterday though. I think I went up to like 40 kilos on the cable and tried to get a little extra range of motion. You'll see me trying to get around more the other way. Okay, I just filmed the one side, but yeah. And then we got close grip bench. So this week was back up. I took that 165 last week, and it was definitely an overshot. I took the 162 this week, and it felt just right. Felt like the right load selection. So that's definitely, I think, a big win, especially considering I had to kind of pull back on a lot of things between then and now. So being able to kind of get back in the swing of things for this last week in the dev block, I think is pretty promising. And yeah, I'll probably start going back into some more like underwater sets, more work capacity stuff to try to recreate a similar scheme to the training that I was doing into Commonwealths, because essentially what I've done is I've kept things going the direction and, you know, the progression that they were going to go for Commonwealths throughout this, you know, bit of benching, and it's gone incredibly well. So I don't really want to change things up too much. Yeah, you can see me just dying here with I think 80s. So I went up 5 pounds each on these, and again, just like so hard, so hard to just stabilize. I don't know. These are a tough friggin' movement. Barely made it through the set. I think my back downs were 6s, not 7s. Supposed to basically do a load drop or a rep drop, sorry, with the same weight. That's me telling Dylan how hard those were, basically. But yeah, that's more or less it for the week of training. So hopefully y'all are you know, still enjoying this style of check-in, this style of vlog. If so, you know, let me know in the comments. And like I said, we're going to be getting ready for nationals here pretty quick. So pretty damn excited about that. Damn excited at the prospect of getting back into some low bar squatting, maybe squatting a little heavier, doing some more heavier deadlifts, and hopefully keeping the bench even just in line with where it is now for nationals would be great. Nationals will be February 17th, 18th. I think I'll compete, but I'm all signed up and ready to go. So we'll see. Stay tuned, and we'll be doing more of these and then more of the super special cool mega edit vlogs before long after that. But all right, everybody, until next time, peace.